And good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York. This scene is set on the sept of the green. Alonna, having made a boo-boo a couple days ago, was instructed to go speak with Sister Breadbreaker. Or Sister Breaks Bread. To make amends for what she did, as per the warder's instructions. So she's been looking around. She's heard tell that she tends to frequent the forge, so she's heading towards the forge to see if she can, in fact, find Katya there.
Um, as she gets a little bit closer to the forge, she will find Katya. Katya seems to be relatively busy, but but it doesn't look like she's actually working on anything. She's more moving around. She's been packing up some boxes and looks like she's kind of trying to tidy up the forge at the minute. She looks a little distracted, but yeah, she's not involved with anything hot and metal at this point in time.
And seeing her there, and she seems distracted but not busy. She'll say, "Excuse me, Sister Breaks Bread."
Oh, wait, oh, hello, yes. Uh, can I help?
The warder asked me to come speak with you about something.
Sure, sure. Let me just put this down and do you want to do it here? Do you want to? There's a bench over there. We can have a sit if that's all right with you.
Aye, fine with me.
Okay. Yeah. She will just put down the box she was carrying and just gesture over to there's like a low bench just outside, sort of to the side of the forge. Um, please sit and I'm all ears.
Alright, as you heard, the warder asked who let out the howl in the Tellurian the other day. I'm pretty sure most people heard it.
Yeah, he was shouting a bit, but please go on.
That howl in the Tellurian was me. My packmate told me that she was disbanding the pack and that I was to be alone because of it. And in a moment of grief, I started to cry out. Uh, it was but maybe less than a second, but there was that pained howl that came out. When I realized that I was starting to do that, I immediately went into the Umbra so that I could protect the veil as much as I could, considering I just kind of broke it. So I am here to seek what penance must be paid for what I've done.
Oh, right. Okay. Start. Obviously, the breaking of the veil is a very serious matter, as I'm sure you're aware. Here, I mean, it's always important, but here, with living amongst the humans, with everything so close, with the threats to us so close and immediate, it's even more important. But before we get fully into that, it probably seems a bit trite. I don't know you that well, but you're still. Anyway, I'm really sorry. Breaking up packs, losing people. It's it's horrible. I I know it happens, but I can't imagine it. And I don't know what that feels like, but I know what being alone is like. And I'm really sorry. And I know your packs say they've left you alone, but And I know we don't know each other that well, but I would like to think that you're not being in this sept, at least how I've experienced it. Even if you're not part of a pack, you're not totally alone. If that helps at all. Sorry.
She nods.
Um, Look, I don't want to do this anymore. That pain you felt, I could understand why you would try to cry out. And as you say, you've tried to contain it and you tried to resolve your discretion as soon as you realized what was happening. And by doing that and by remedying it and by doing something so quickly and coming forward so easily and so honestly, you do yourself a lot of credit. But the risks that the breaking of veil presents is they're real, they're serious. Hopefully in this case, because as you say, it was such a small thing, it won't come back to us. It hopefully it won't. And you weren't careless, you weren't stupid with it. But here we have to have more control than anywhere other than I've experienced before. Even the center of Copenhagen wasn't the same as this. It wasn't as intense and as close as this. But the sept's already making efforts to minimize our Tellurian-based interactions in the park itself. So hopefully that should help. I have my thoughts, but I'd ask you first. What would you offer, and what do you think you can do and should do in response to the risk that you've just presented potentially?
Well, as I've been asked to leave the sept for living purposes, as they've asked everybody to live off sept now,
Mm-hmm.
I could offer my tongue for however long you wish, my voice, be it not heard for whatever you feel is necessary. I put the sept at risk. You could even ask my life of me if that is what you feel is necessary.
Okay, let's back up here. Just 1 second. Your life is not necessary. Let's start there, because the risk that you pose versus the pose for that brief second and potentially in future is minutely less compared to the good that you have done for this sept, the things that I've heard that you've done, and the things that I'm assuming you're willing to do in the future for this sept and for Gaia. That would just be an utter waste of what Gaia has given us in you to kill you. And yeah, in terms of everybody's survival, that would just be. I know some people like to go for the harsh punishments. And I'm not saying you might not find what I suggest difficult, but no, that doesn't help anybody. In terms of your tongue or those things, again, they probably will be very painful for you. But inevitably, if you're having to walk around the city and try and find a house and not being able to speak, surely at that point you present a different kind of risk, because you will draw attention to yourself from that way. And when we go out into the city, we're hoping to not have attention drawn to us. So I appreciate the gesture that you're trying to make there, but I'm not sure that would help entirely either. Nor would it help you make up for, in a way, what you've done. What maybe, if you don't mind, what I would suggest is something more of benefit to the sept. It is the sept you've put at risk, so it is the sept you make recompense to. in that regard, I think. As you have risked the veil, those most at risk often are other Garu who are weaker than yourself, or kinfolk. And with everyone moving out into the city, I would propose this. I will have to get it checked, and others may wish to add other things and suggest other things. But that you provide aid to an effort to anyone who needs help moving things from the sept. Any kinfolk, anyone can ask you for aid to move in the moving off of the sept, and you will protect them from any risk that is presented to them.
Certainly.
And that for a period you will aid the guardians are much reduced, and I do not force you to join them, but seeing as it is a risk you have posed, I would suggest that you, for a period of, I will clarify this, but I would say at least one moon, you volunteer yourself to protect the veil and the sept in the way that the guardians do.
All right.
I am not the definitive on this. I will pass your explanations and my judgments as they are to the truth catcher to just, I believe the human term is rubber stamp them, and to check anything further she wishes to add. But if you are accepting of these things,
I am.
then take caution with your voice. But making yourself useful as you can in this city is far more useful, far more aid to the sept than anything else right now.
As you wish. I shall do so. I'll wait to hear confirmation that that's all that's wished before I'll wait for you to announce such things to the sept.
Indeed. Until that time, I would keep your head low, but if you make yourself useful in the meantime, I'm sure that would help things. And I should not leave you hanging long. But I would make this offer to you that I'm going to make to everybody else as well. Not all of us, whilst we have lived in the sept and whilst we have lived in the city, not everyone is as familiar or comfortable with the city as my bone Nora kin and fellow Garu are. I have accumulated in my time here a number of contacts and a number of people who have been helping me out, and I passed the word round that we were looking for some low-key accommodation in particular locations, and if you need any help with it, I might be able to help you find appropriate buildings and at a more reasonable price compared to what most of this city will offer you.
She'll nod.
Anyway, I'll let you think there are other options out there. The sept has its plans, and we try and work with them as best as we can. But the city's not exactly an accommodating place to Garu most of the time.
Nay, that it's not. I'll see what I can find. If I find myself needing aid, I'll speak with you about it.
Hey, the offer's there. Make of it what you will. I'll get anyway. I'll let you get on, and yeah, you take care of yourself. All right.
I will. Thank you.
We'll get back to packing up this. Whilst we're keeping some stuff on the sept, we're trying to reduce, and apparently the forge sticks out a little bit, trying to make it look more like a crafty sale location, less swords and shields and weapons, apparently. So, but yeah.
Less forgy, more crafty.
Yeah, we'll still have some of that going on in the background, but we want to present a more appropriate face to the city.
Understandable. I'll let you get back to your work then. And
Thanks.
she'll get up and start wandering off.
Catch will just turn back and we'll go and stand and stare back at her boxes.
And with that, I think we can end the scene.
Yep.
Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for viewing. Goodbye.